So, what are we starting off today with? We're going to play a league with this bad boy. This is the Blue-Green Urza list from last week's Modern Challenge, played by Elvin7. It is very, very neat. It is not very easy to play, and I will say that off stream I got 2-3-2s. See if I can keep that up. It's not playing combo at all. So there's no copies of Thopter Foundry, no copies of Sword of the Meek in this list. What we have instead is a more mid-range and controlling build, similar to how the deck list was before Mox Opal was banned. One of the things that I was highlighting yesterday between this one and the Grixis Urza deck that did very well in the challenge is they've greatly increased their density of 0 mana artifacts in order to be able to power out a turn 1 or 2 Emry Lurker of Loch. So when the Emry engine gets going uncontested, it's one of the best things that this deck can do. One of the things I found a little bit questionable about this deck is in the current modern meta, playing 4 copies of Ice-Fang Coatl in the main deck, or maybe at all, is maybe not something I think I would want to be doing. Similar to some of the other decks that are playing main deck, Fatal Push, a lot of the time, Hand Disruption is just better. But then again, it can come up in the late game and be kind of dead. So there are definitely situations where it's a good thing to have. Some of the matches I was playing earlier, Ice-Fang was a little bit of a decent card. So sideboard has Veil of Summer, Mystical Dispute, Dismember for creature decks. We've got a really, really strong suite of cards in Weather the Storm and Thragtusk to bring in against Burn or Prowess. We're not playing any copy of Whir of Invention. So that's why a lot of these numbers are a little bit different than you would normally see. There's 3 copies of Engineered Explosive in the main because when you want to draw one in the matchup, you have to either naturally draw it or flip it with Emry. Then you also have the 3 Damping Spheres in the sideboard. For the same reason, you have to draw them in the matchups where you need them. We're also playing Gilded Goose. This is one of my less favorite things about these decks, but it has proven itself to be pretty decent. And we're playing 3 copies of Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Uro wants you to play more lands in your deck. A lot of the standard decks that are playing Uro are playing 26 to 28 kind of land counts. One of the big differences, though, is we're mostly looking to just get this in our graveyard and then escape with it for value. So playing it on turn 3 as a ramp spell is not normally a pattern we're going to be looking for. So Uro's been powerful but interesting to have in this deck as well. And then we have one of my favorite cards of all time, Cryptic Command, 3 of these, and 3 Metallic Rebuke in order to go with our Mystic Sanctuary engine. So I'm going to hop into the league, stop jawing at you about all of this stuff that's above my pay grade. Looks like we got a brand new crop of modern preliminaries coming up. And I was just looking, there was an article posted by Eli Cassis about the blue-black Urza deck that he took to the top of SCG. It's playing no Emrys in it. So that is the sort of logical extreme of the more controlling Urza build. That is kind of like the blue-black inverter combo in Pioneer, where you're mostly just kind of playing a very, very good sort of controlling value game. And then you try to combo people out a little bit later with the upside that just like Inverter, Urza has a lot of value on his own, even when the combo's not together. And on the flip side, unlike Thassa's Oracle, but I guess similar to Jace, Thopter Sword has some value on its own. This is a super slow hand for Modern. I'm not going to keep this in the dark. This is awkward, but we're going to keep it. I think I'm going to bottom the Mox Amber, even though it seems like a reasonable card. Although 2 copies of Engineered Explosive seems excessive. So let's bottom one of the EEs and keep the Mox Amber. We'll get paid off pretty well if we hit an early Emry or once we get to Urza. Okay, so we're just going to fetch one of our snow lands here. Put down this Aether Spellbomb. So again, this way if we pick up an Emry next turn, we could maybe go tap land and play her, or see what we pick up here. Can also just cycle it, although more likely to do that with Ice-Fang Coatl. Ooh. So not sure if this is going to be Esper control or blue-white featuring Polluted Delta. Not a great pickup considering what our opponents put on the table. Might be playing Spell Snare, so it'd be better to make them spend the mana on their turn. Seen Celestial Colonnade in a little while. Okay, we're gonna grab a Breeding Pool here. It's not. I don't think this is going to be a match where our life total is going to be particularly relevant. And one of the most important things to get going in this deck is get 3 islands into play so that your Mystic Sanctuaries are live when you hit them. Obviously, we don't have anything yet in our graveyard to use it, but I'm going to cast Mox Amber. Going to hit the high storm count turn here. Going to play Emry for 1. Kind of goofed there. Shouldn't have played out this Mox Amber, but okay. And they're letting it resolve. Makes me think they probably have a Path to Exile in hand. See them fire it off here. Nope. Don't know what my opponent's up to over there. Maybe we'll finally see them cast a spell. Nope. Think if I fire off this Aether Spellbomb to draw a card, I will not be able to Metallic Rebuke, so and pass the turn there. Gonna do this now. We're looking to draw a land. I'm gonna use Mox Amber just in case Emry dies. Cool. Hit the land that we wanted. So I can play the Astrolabe, draw a card. So this is one of the things that when we're playing in a control matchup, this is what we're going to want to do, is just try to get this engine up and running with Emry and any card in our graveyard that can continue to draw us cards. Because we are adding permanents to the battlefield, they're not going to be able to deal with all the types of permanents we have. There's not a lot of people playing weird things like, ooh, Force Indignation. Playing weird things like Planar Cleansing or something like that. How incentivized am I to counter this? Not really. It was our draw engine. I know we have only 1 in the deck, but we also have 4 Mishra's Baubles, which we can find at some point. So, kind of want to hold this Metallic Rebuke for a threat. Or removal for our Emry herself. Okay, well that's a tad unfortunate. We're going to put Cryptic on top of the deck though. I think we're going to attack for 2 here. If our opponent will permit us, there we go. So crack in for 2. And then I'm just going to throw down this EE on 1. At the end of their turn, I can blow this up. It'll take the Astrolabe with it, and then Emry will be able to draw us a card with Astrolabe next turn. So just focused on getting more card velocity, getting more threats. I guess I could have done this turn in order to draw the Cryptic Command now, but I'm not really interested in doing that yet. Sweet Gideon Blackblade Prestige from my opponent. Martinez DP. Okay. EE resolves. I think they were trying to figure out what exactly we were planning to EE on one. The answer is going to be my own Astrolabe. Sure. Cool. This means we have Cryptic and Metallic Rebuke live right now. Holding out for a hero here, guys. Holding out for a hero. Field of Ruin, yeah. Nothing like a good field. What do you got? It's gotta be Teferi, yeah. So it's their turn right now, so they can't force of negation. It's a good chance we're gonna see a mana leak here, and then we can rock in with counter bounce. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll just take a draw step here. Well, that was an excellent pickup. So now that they went for that, we can use this opening to jam my boy Urza, the Lord High Artificer. One of the downsides about doing this could be if they have a Supreme Verdict ready to go. I don't know if I'm interested in playing around that right now. I guess our current value plan is pretty good, but I would like to be doing better. Okay. Cool. Now we have the mana to Cryptic Command. Also, if we go Cryptic Command, counter draw, then we'll be able to use this Misty Rainforest to fetch the other Mystic Sanctuary and put Metallic Rebuke back on top. So if we're able to draw a card from our Cryptic Command, we'll be good to go on that one. It's a little bit tempting to bounce their Colonnade here at end of turn. See what they get. It's probably Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, okay, so not as incentivized anymore to do that. It's going to be Verdict. Yeah. Think I want to bounce my Urza. So we're going to use this to put Metallic Rebuke on top. Turn target spell, no. Turn target permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. And if they have a mana leak here, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. No, we got there. Cool. Resolves. Sure. Mystic Sanctuary. Puts Verdict back on top. Yeah, that's gonna be... I tapped my Tormod script. Okay. So things to be aware of in future. So I don't know if there's an argument for just jam Urza here and spin. They've got this colonnade in on the battlefield, so one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So if I play Urza, I can spin it. So let's see what we're gonna draw. Cryptic Command. I think I'm happy to hang out and wait one more turn for that. More mana is excellent here. We have Breeding Pool here. They have a Field of Ruin, so I am not interested in them being able to Stone Rain me with that. One snow-covered island left, so that's good to know. Would really like to find an Uro. Cool. Resolves, cool. Pass the turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have the ability to Cryptic Command and Metallic Rebuke. So hopefully we can counter the counter. They fire off after the Supreme Verdict. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana open, so we'll see what's up. So Veto. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay. So draw a second Urza? Yeah, that's how you do it. Backup Urza, baby. Just moonwalking all over this fool. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Kind of shields down by doing this, but I can play out the EE for 0. Ice-Fang, sure, draws me a card. Happy about that. Alright, play the EE on 0 as a Mox Sapphire. More important to remember now that their fetch lands could be 2nd or 3rd Mystic Sanctuaries, so we can exile their graveyard with Tormod's Crypt. Unlike last time where I tapped it down. Cool. Seems like their deck is a little bit light on interaction. I'm going to jump on it here. We're not swinging into this Colonnade with Urza since he is a 1/4. They also could be playing something strange like Oust. I think that targets an attacking or blocking creature, something like that. This Cryptic Command? Yeah. Do I EE in response? I don't think so. I think we're just going to let that happen. Two, three, four, 5. Let's take Urza for a spin here. Uro, thank you. Perfect. So Urza functioning as a draw 2 there. And now we have an Uro to end this game. So should be able to grind out our opponent with this bad boy. It's bad Mamma Jamma. I'm not going to cast Uro this turn, just because it puts us closer to shields down. We do have one more snow-covered island in the deck, so Jace. I think I would like to make them pay 3 more for their Jace. And then I have 5 available to go for a spin. So we'll see if we can get lucky with that. Oh, we can get the snow-covered forest as well. So we'll grab that. Sure. So I don't think I've hit all of my counters. So I'm gonna let this guy resolve, see what happens from here. Draw 3, sure. Check the deck list. I don't think there's any Pithing Needle in the main deck. There is not. Do I want to spin Urza at end of turn? Sure, why not? Most of the things I can hit that are not instants. Ah, shoot. Unfortunate. Okay, Astrolabe. So I can use my Astrolabes to EE for 4 if I want to. Will kill my Urza, unfortunately. So not my favorite line. Plus they can +2 it next turn, so I think we are going to EE down the Jace though. And then play Uro. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Make one of these into white, one of these into black. 1, 2, 3, 4. So pop my EE. Little unfortunate there. Play Uro. Exile Urza, Emry, Urza, land, and land. Done. Get my big boy. Oh boy. Path and response, sure. Use path's ability, sure. Okay. Play Astrolabe. Out of mana, so that's okay. So I still have, I believe, 2 Urzas, 2 Uros, 2 Emrys. Attack for 1 here, then I'm going to bauble them on my turn because I want the Cryptic Command if I pick it up on their turn. What are you drawing, friend? Island. Good. Mystic Sanctuary. Did not F6 this time. Trying to pick up Cryptic. Gonna exile the bin. Response Snapcaster. Oh. Yeah. So what's the best thing I can get here? They want the Cryptic? Sure. What are you doing with it? They bounce Snapcaster? That doesn't make any sense. Definitely gonna draw a card, right? Turn target permanent to others. So they used it as like 6 mana, draw a card? Is that the only thing that happened there? I think so. Okay. Okay. Hey. Alright. Getting a little dicey. But they are at 4, so getting close to a win. Goose resolves, super duper. Pass that turn. Field short. So I am off of green, double green. I am off of double green, but I have 4 Astrolabes in play, so luckily they're not really choking my colors very effectively. D-Sphere, sure. Yeah. So they have Snapcaster, but no spells in the yard. Booting up Colonnade, huh? Alright. Could be an enormous blowout here, so let's see what happens. Bounce D-Sphere. So unfortunately we are not able to play around Mana Leak here. But if this resolves, we're in a great spot. They also have Cryptic Command mana up. They have Snap with nothing in their Oh baby. Okay. Spin to win, baby. Get another goose? Sure. I love Mox Sapphires. Alright. Still have the Snap in hand. We're on 9 cards in our library though, so running a little thin here. D-Sphere's coming back. Yeah. What do you want? Sure. see snap jump block here. 4 mana. Cryptic Command. Shoot. Oh, that's really bad. So by Emry, I am real thin on cards. Same with Uro. But I have to add a little more. Emry does let me break out my Urza if I want to, although that will kill Emry as well, so maybe not the best play there. Can actually just keep attacking with the Ice-Fang Coatl. So we're going to see snap Cryptic here, yep, to tap my team probably. Yeah, so we'll respond. We'll use Emry to play Engineered Explosives this turn. Everything else is okay. So hopefully they didn't pick up another piece of counter magic. I think I have another E to pick up. No, I do not. Okay, glad that resolved then. I guess I could have popped my E that's on 0 next turn, but... So we lose Emry for this, but it's worth another 1-power threat. Another Cryptic? No, boy, please no. Okay. Some serious danger of decking here. It's one of those games where I wish I was a smarter player, because then I would be able to tell you whether or not I had... I got to see my deck. There was Urza Ice-Fang, which in theory means if I get Wrathed and I draw the Urza, timely reinforcements. Boy, that's a beating. Well, I drew the best of the two. So hold on. Declare my attackers. Hold priority, pop the E on 0. I think that's the line here. Yeah. Doesn't feel good, but we're going to do it. So I've got 3 blockers for them, 1 attacker for us. If they block here, it's much better for me than if they don't. They did not, so I think I'm screwed. I don't have any way to get the Snapcaster Mage off the battlefield. I have an Ice-Fang Coatl in my deck that will kill me. I have no way to put another card in my deck. So, as I said, the biggest problem with this deck is going to be the fact that you cannot get any free wins. So we were really far ahead there, but then we managed to deck ourselves. Which does not mean you should bring in Ashiok. However, Veil of Summer and Mystical Dispute. EE seemed generally lackluster there. I know I killed a Jace with it, but that was weirdly specific and probably not generally very good. Tormod's Crypt, though, definitely valuable. If I hadn't made a goof earlier in that game, would have been good. Also, Ice-Fangs are not great. They cut all the Ice-Fangs. EE being marginally better, Ashiok being even better than that. So I think I can bring that back. I want my Aether Spellbomb. It was really unlucky that that was hit with a Force of Negation early. I say unlucky, that was a good choice by my opponent, or it worked out very well for them. I started much earlier today. I started earlier today because I want to start on time-ish today, but I also want to do an extra deck. So, hope it's going well for you, Roy. Things are okay, you suppose. Come on, man, be assertive. Just be like, yo, things are great. On time being 8 till 8. Alright, so clock is not great, so we're going to try to play through this quickly. It's a pretty medium hand. I'm going to keep it. Got double Bauble and Arcum's Astrolabe, so this hand could be anything. It could even be a game win. And I am interested in just keeping a high volume of cards. Reveals a Cryptic Command. Super. So starting off right here. Land. Neither of those were land. Jeez. Well, if we want it to be on the stumble and die plan, this is the best way to start it. I guess the flip side argument for keeping a hand like this is the fact that all I need against them is mana, really. Spells can come later, but I had the Mystical Dispute, so I felt like I could start fighting over stuff nice and early. And that was a good draw finally. Alright, so we now have lands. We can now fight over most of the things they're going to want to cast, so if they want to do anything on their turn, we're going to be able to deal with it, like this Narset part of our Veils. There's a Supreme Verdict. So good to know that they have it ready to go. And now they're missing land drops. That's super duper. Draw. Oof. Alright, well, we are going to start firing endless Urzas into their counter magic next turn. We'll see how much they kept. Oh, jeez. You know, sometimes you can't help but feel bad for your opponent discarding hand size. Oh, Monastery Mentor too. They brought in the big guns. We are giving them a chance here to fire off their counter magic, but so this should be Mystical Dispute or Mana Leak. Could be just let Urza resolve path and response. Mana Leak. Nope. Cool. Oh, that, yeah. So that was the downside to going shields down there like I did, but it does mean that I'm going to get to resolve the Teferi. I don't currently have any way to draw extra cards, so I think this is not the end of the world unless they... I know they have Supreme Verdict in hand right now. So luckily Narset wouldn't have helped them draw a land. We're just going to pass with things the way they are here. We've got another backup Urza, so if they Go land Verdict here. We're going to be in okay shape. They're also going up to 8 cards in hand here, so they're probably looking for spot removal. They hit a Logic Knot. Firing off their opt. They're looking for the land here. Does mean they won't be able to Verdict, so we're going to be able to attack Narset off this board. Unless they fire off a path here, and now. I'd like to see D-Sphere. That'd be great. White and 1. What is white and 1? Really? Okay. I think I'm going to hold this for a Mystic Sanctuary after I cast a spell. Pick that up, so it didn't matter, but sending both of these after Narset is by far the most important thing I can do with them. Looks like we're getting through. Might have a backup Narset, but I'm pretty excited if they cast that. I know they still have their Verdict, so we're just going to take Urza for a spin here. I think I made a land drop already. Yeah, I did. That was a mistake. So still trying to learn how to sequence my Urzas correctly, because I am bad at this game and I refuse to improve. No, I'm trying to get better, obviously. I just definitely need to pay more attention to finicky sequencing. Alright, this is kind of a neat draw, so we're going to bounce their Hallowed Fountain and draw a card. Just keep messing with their mana, since their mana situation's already not great. Alternatively, I could have bounced my Arcum's Astrolabe for a draw 2 there. Might see a Field of Ruin activation out of them here. Veto. Yeah, sure. I don't need this upkeep stop anymore. Yep. I guess I fire off my Emry here. Hopefully they just don't have a second one of those. I do have access to up to 4 mana. I think I'm going to get this Mystic Sanctuary. Put this Veil of Summer back on top. Yeah. Teferi, we're gonna dispute that. And I still have Cryptic Command mana if I want it. I would prefer not to search. Oh wait, no, I can just pay for a dispute. Cool. So we have firmly grasped this game. Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it. And now we have the ability to Cryptic bounce our Mystic Sanctuary and then replay a Bauble every turn. And the Bauble allows us to redraw the Cryptic, so we have the Cryptic lock set up with a Veil of Summer backup. So should be a game win here. Rest in peace. I'm going to counter that, draw a card. No, I was supposed to do the looping thing. Yep. Alright, we're going to keep being bad at this game. I think I have a second Mystic Sanctuary in my deck, but this is game 2. We lost an exceptionally long game 1. But we're able to get a little aggro here in game 2. And they let that resolve. Monastery Mentor. Yes. I do have the second Mystic Sanctuary though, so we'll be able to put a Cryptic back on top. Yes. Cool. So I could bounce this. Oh, right. I could bounce and tap it. So instead of that, I think we're just attacking. Cast the Bauble. Okay. We have an Uro in the graveyard as backup here. Although, oh, okay. Force of negation for token, sure. Okay, I think this means I'm going to jam out the Uro here. So green, green, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get him. Cool. So opponent committing to the board here means they're less likely to have a sweeper in hand. Drew another counter. Mystic Sanctuary putting Verdict on top. Yeah. So do they have an opt? D-Sphere. If they D-Sphere here, I'm going to counter it and tap their team once the trigger resolves from Monastery Mentor. Do I have another green source in the deck? No, I do not. Wait, no, there should be a snow-covered forest that I haven't seen yet. Okay. Cool. So, tap all creatures your opponent's control, draw a card. Does not target. So, Cryptic. I'll give them 1 blocker. So, no, it won't give them a blocker because I'm going to counter it. So it should be game the way the triggers end up resolving. Tap them all and attack. Okay, problem is the last game is going to be almost unwinnable in the time limit we have left, but that's all right. Deck put up a good showing there. Yeah, death by decking in like blue-green mid-range decks is like a really bad habit of mine. Okay, we have a 1 mana Emry here on turn 2 with an extra mana up, so if I draw something like Mystical Dispute, be a happy camper. And then, of course, if they fire off a counter on this, it clears the way for Ashiok. Alternatively, I could have played Ashiok there, but I feel like this is a better use of my time. Actually, I want to bauble them on my turn because I can draw Mystical Dispute or Metallic Rebuke. Which you should be able to Metallic Rebuke with exactly this board, but it does not seem to be functional on Magic Online. Teferi, yeah, that's a good card to play here. Bounce my Emry, yep. This is island number 3. Play Urza here as 2 bodies, because I only care about him for his body. Our set, sure. Stony Silence, okay. Good to watch out for there. So, play Astrolabe, draw a card. I don't want to make a food, so I'll just have them all attack Narset, since Narset is going to draw them a card more immediately. I'm going to fetch Mystic Sanctuary here. Yep, put the Dispute on top of my deck. Cast Ashiok. Nope, those are the wrong colors. Blue, blue, 1. So we're totally shields down to a Verdict here. Missing land drops on their side though. Didn't have any removal last turn, so we will see how this pans out this turn. Mill plan is engaged here though. It's definitely possible we mill him out. Instant speed Verdict. That's unfortunate. What do I want to do? I want to make a food. Play Emry. But their Teferi is alive. That's really bad. I can't play counter magic. I forgot that he does things against my deck. And that Jace can bounce Emry if they want. They definitely don't need to. Yeah, I think we're done here. Yeah, totally forgot about Teferi shutting off all my counter magic. Stony Silence, sure. Yeah, I think I'm done here. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to win with the clock and this many planeswalkers. So, tough beats there, going all the way to time, and this deck feels like it does that every match, or close to it. So it is a blast to play, but you got to be ready to grind. I'm going to keep this one. Solid hand, even on the draw. Do have turn 1 Emry possible here. Turn 1 Mountain. Is it burn with a no creature draw, maybe? I'm going to guess that it is. So I'm going to fire off all of my Cheerios here. Get them out of the way just in case there is a Eidolon. Suppose the thing I could have done there was bobble them first and see what else is in their deck. They didn't play the mountain. Interesting. Well, Moto misclicks get us all. Steamkin. Just gonna fire off a counter here. Just don't want to deal with anything. Steamkin's definitely dangerous. Green Pool. Emry is a nice pickup. So if Emry survives, going to be in tremendously good shape. Emry does not survive. We don't have enough mana to play Urza yet, or Cryptic Command, so... Okay, but they're Manamorphosing for no value, so that's... they're Manamorphosing twice for no value. The Storm counter that we're seeing is because I have Weather the Storm in my sideboard. So, if this is the Prowess deck, it's really spinning its tires poorly. I'm going to hold on to this EE because I don't know what I need it for yet. Fiery Islet, sure. Take 3, sure. Ice-Fang Coatl, alright, get some pressure on this. I think it's mono red prowess with Steam Can. That was a thing that was happening a little while back. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they're up to over there. Although it might be worth exiling their graveyard now. I'm going to do it. They're getting real close to a Bedlam Reveler. They just drew an extra card, so kind of want to strand that in their hand if I possibly can. I've never seen the newest iteration of Mono Red Prowess yet. Well, I don't know that there is one. I mean, I don't know what I'm against. Like, they just played Risk Factor. Like, this is not a card that is modern power level normally. So, I do not know what my opponent's doing over there, but I hope they're having fun. So that's a gain 3 life. Unless, of course, we pick up an Urza, which we did. So, we're going to go get a Mystic Sanctuary here. Putting Rebuke on top because they're a little bit choked on mana still. Yes. So, play Urza. Urza gives me a Construct. I'm going to use this for green. Play the Goose. Bolt my Construct in response. It's not going to my face, so I guess I'm okay with that. I guess I could have floated one, but do I need 2 mana for anything? No, I don't. Soulscar Mage, yep. This means they are more likely to be able to kill my Urza in the long term. But we made it through that turn. That was the kind of dicey turn, I think. So, just going to make a Mox Opal here. Attack for... you know what? I'm going to hold back for now. Can keep accruing life and value here and just leave up the maximum amount of mana to interact with them for now. Swiss Spear, sure. So this is making EE on 1 more appealing. Would result in losing a number of artifacts, but I think we do this. Play the EE on 1. I goofed the way I tap my mana, so I can't play Astrolabe this turn. That's okay. Gonna be alright. Crash through, sure. they're trying to do over there. They're not having a good time with it. I'm going to play out the second Urza this turn to get the construct. Lavender, sure. This also means I have an untapped Urza. And a 5/5, so. Just did a little refresh for Urza. Took a shower, maybe did a little shaveroo. Feeling ready to take on the day. Do his sweet moonwalk. I don't know why. I just see him as having that Chameleon Colossus Sasquatch pose. Suppose I could be spinning here. Kicked Burst Lightning. Yeah, that's something. Mana Leak. Lightning bolts. Sure. Bolt my dome. Might be, yeah, I was going to say unloading for a Bedlam Reveler, so we're going to counter that and bounce my Mystic Sanctuary. Yes. Up the power of my construct, crack in for 7. Gonna give Urza a spin this turn. Gonna leave up some mana to crack foods. Ooh. It's a little awkward. What do I want to bounce? I guess just Urza? Feels wrong. No, I want Urza in play because it gives me all that mana. Just bounce him out and draw a card. Shack the Swans, draw some cards. Steamkin. Sure, this one's fine. That's a chip block and Steamkin. Bedlam Reveler. Sure, you can have a trigger. But, you know, not that one. And actually, if I have the second Mystic Sanctuary in my deck, I can just win the game this turn. I do. Target Cryptic. Well, thank you for asking, Moto. I would love to put that on top of my deck. Art on Chameleon Colossus is terrifying. It is, but I just love that he's got that goofy Sasquatch pose where he's like walking through the forest and he's like, "Ooh, you spotted me." And I always kind of see Urza having the same kind of pose. So we're gonna bring in 2 Weather the Storm, 2 Thragtusks. I think I cut a Cryptic, a Rebuke. I did this nice and clean last time. I want my Tormod's Crypts. I want my EEs. So all of this cheap stuff is really good. I think Ice-Fang is not as A+ as it would otherwise be just because of Lava Dart. So I think we're going to do it this way. Might be some merit to bring in Damping Sphere too. So we'll bring in those. This might end up being a mistake. Always trying to learn here. I'll be right back, hitting the washroom before I click submit. Always remember to take the time to wash your hands, folks. Always wash your hands. Is that an ANC shirt? Well, it sure is. ANC Cards is your Toronto destination for vintage video game memorabilia and consoles. They also happen to have a pretty great Magic section, the ANC Cards shop. I used to work there, as you well know. It's a pretty soft hand. See how many mulls they take? They didn't take any. It's got interaction and a goose. I'm not sponsored by ANC, but if ANC is out there listening, let's talk. My people will talk to your people. Let's say I'm an ANC fan. I think I should ship this. 5 lands is just too many. This is not great, but I'm not willing to go to 5 on it. I'm going to actually pitch the Mox Amber here. So we're probably going turn 1 Breeding Pool. Tap Breeding Pool. Guess we could fetch the Snow-Covered Forest. Opponent's probably trying to cast stuff during their upkeep, so. Yeah. I mean, this is actually very similar to the first hand I threw back, but it's got the Thragtusk. Doesn't have the Rebuke. I actually think the first hand might have been better in this matchup, because there's a good chance we get killed before I can get to this Thragtusk, but we will see how that works out for us. When you move. Listen to Cool and the Gang's Get Down on It. Hope you all feel like getting down on it with me here. Thragtusk feels like a mistake in design. I agree with you. It should not have the text leaves the battlefield. I have no idea why you can flicker this and get more. Like, it doesn't make sense with the flavor text. The flavor text says always carry 2 spears, but if you flicker Thragtusk and then you kill the Thragtusk, you would have needed 3 spears. It doesn't. We're getting that sweet time advantage here against our burn opponent. She works hard for the money, so hard for it, honey. Come on, dude. There we go. Again, kept the 7 that didn't have a turn 1 Swift Spear or Soulscar Mage. So this is sweet because even if they kill the Goose, I now have turn 2 Metallic Rebuke. So this hand actually kind of became that first hand plus the Goose. No, the first hand was Goose, Rebuke, and 5 lands, I think. It's the ultimate anti-burn card. I guess so. It does cost 5 though, which is pretty prohibitive. Oh yeah, and then yeah, so it is a 5 mana 5/3. It gains you 5 life, but it's boltable. And I think was M13, but was this the first? This was the first time they didn't print bolts in that era, right? It was like M11 bolt, M12 bolt, and then that was it. Light up the stage, sure. I guess I found their Soulscar Mage. So there's a chance we're firing this Metallic Rebuke off at their Soulscar Mage. Let's watch their sequencing here. They have 4 instants or sorceries in their graveyard right now. I'm just firing this off at the first thing that happens. There could be a Steam Can after this, which would make me feel slightly bad about it, but nope, just a bolt. So yeah, it looks like they're just trying to build up to a Bedlam Reveler. Metamorphose and Burst Lightning in Exile. So I'm actually going to let them do both of those next turn. Oh, and Tormod's Crypt A. I'm not going to let them do those both next turn. I'm going to Crypt them now. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, so their Bedlam Reveler currently costs 2. Their Bedlam Reveler now costs 8. Of course, we've got the very intuitive Moto interface. M11, M12. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this is from M13. So it was, in fact, like printed into a world that didn't have Bolt in it. So that's worth knowing, I guess. Although I'm sure something like Lightning Strike was around, so it's not really. Burst Lightning out of this, or out of the exile. Yep. Crash through, sure. So they're juicing their yard again. So Tormod's Crypt bought us some time. Bedlam Reveler currently costs 4, so we'll still be able to counter it. I'm going to take a look-see at what they're going to draw. Actually, hold on. I have Counter Magic in my deck, so I don't want to upkeep this. You want to use it on your opponent's upkeep if you're worried about them having things like Thoughtseize, which I'm not. Just interested in picking the card up as soon as possible. M10, M11. Yeah, that also makes sense. 3, 4. Yeah, there's the Reveler. I suppose I could have just sacked the food there to be efficient, but would love to pick up. That'll work. Thragtusk. Swaggy T, baby. Come on back again. Suppose we could always do the research, but I feel like we're those filthy pre-millennials where we're like, I would rather argue about it for like 2 hours a lot of the time than find out. Like, just look it up on Wikipedia. We are flush with geese. What is this, Canada? Cracking in for 5. Who's the aggro deck now, eh? Alright, Goose. Some more virtual health points. Oh. Well, looks like they're still testing the fire alarms. That was supposed to have stopped at 5. Let me close the door and see if I can clamp that down. That was supposed to be happening today, so see how bad it is. I'm just going to take the 1 here. We'll see how much they want to pump it. They did all at 1, so probably another light up the stage coming out. Nope, just cracking in for 1 while the cracking is good. Damping Sphere, sure. Oh, I played an amazing game earlier today against Fire Alarm. No, it's just a Fire Alarm test. A broad A. Yeah, alright, well I will take my 3/3. Missequence there. So if I'd sequenced correctly, I would have the 1 extra mana to crack a food this turn, but probably going to be okay. Looks like they're flooding pretty hard for that deck. Light up the stage, hard cast, sure. Exile, Swift Spear, and the light up the stage, which they have the mana to cast. Divination into the Divination, dig through time into the dig through time. I can mute instantaneously. Let me see if I got my hotkey correct. Yeah, so that... Oh no, that's not keyed to the Zoom. Shoot. I need to reset it up now that I have... I'm using a different microphone. Uro! That's a tremendous pickup. Adds a sense of danger, which in turn increases the appeal of the stream. Yes, this is just more immersion for anyone watching. Cool. As soon as I can, I will get myself set back up. Another light up the stage. Why not? So I think that's all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. They hit Swift Spear and Soulscar Mage, which are individually weak cards, so right now nothing to be afraid of. That is their last light up the stage, yeah. So we've got Urza and a pile of mana, so we're going to play Urza and Uro this turn, I think. Should be able to do both. I'm going to pay 1 more because of Damping Sphere, so I'll use the Damping Sphere to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like Magikarp. Yes, Splash was ineffective. All right, real quick before we continue on, I'm just going to get my microphone muting keys set up again. How is the audio? It's not distorted or anything weird, right? So I think my aux input has unmuted itself. Okay, so that's right. That is correct. That's how it should be. It's not distorted. Good. Okay. And then I just have to do my settings. Okay. So now I should be able to do this, and then you shouldn't be able to hear me while I'm saying these words. And you should now be able to hear me again. What a seductive leaf. Yes, it is. It's more of a sexy leaf. Yeah, I gotta... The old leaf looked like, what was it, a spatula? It was kind of messed up. Old leaf looks like this leaf aged poorly. Yeah, that's it's definitely one way to look at it. Niv Magus Elemental. Okay, so this is a different type of prowess deck. It's like a prowess storm deck. I don't think it plays Haze of Rage, but it might play something similar. Playing Ground Rift. Yeah, we'll see if Oro's able to save the day. We'll see. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It was either a misclick or if I momentarily thought that blocking and bouncing was better there because it got us way more ahead. They needed to draw exactly a spell, so it was just I just took a line that was way higher upside, but had the chance of ending the game in that turn. So engineered explosives is what we're going to be trying to mull to. Yeah, luckily the way they sequenced there was really crap because they could have blown me out much harder if they had let me group block. But they can choose to sack their last mountain, their one mountain here to kill my Urza. I don't think they will. So I brought in the Dismember because if they make a Niv Magus, I might be able to blow them out. If they're, yeah, I could kill a Reveler with it. It just seems like more removal was the place to be. More instant speed removal I can play from my hands. Yeah, they could have Revelers, they could have Steamkin, they could have lots of uncastable stuff. That was meant to be a Mystic Sanctuary. I'll be back momentarily.